Two coworkers start on the exact same team on the exact same day. One is instantly likable, warm, funny, agrees with almost everything said in every meeting. Says yes to every single request that comes their way, immediately and enthusiastically. The other is quieter, more reserved, says less in most meetings overall. But when they say they'll do something specific, it genuinely gets done, exactly as promised, every single time. A year later, everyone likes the first person. But when something truly important comes up, everyone quietly goes to the second person instead. This happens constantly, in nearly every workplace and every relationship you'll ever encounter throughout your life. People chase being liked, almost obsessively, without realizing it's a completely different thing from being respected genuinely. Likability comes from being agreeable, warm, entertaining in the moment you're actually with someone, right there in front of them. Respect comes from something else entirely, something quieter and far more durable over time, built slowly instead of instantly. It comes from your word actually matching your actions, consistently, especially when nobody's specifically checking or watching closely at all. Here's the uncomfortable truth almost nobody wants to hear about this specific topic. You can be liked by absolutely everyone around you and still be respected by almost nobody at all. Chronic yes-sayers, constant overpromisers, people who tell everyone exactly what they want to hear in the moment, they're often deeply well-liked, at least on the surface level. But underneath that surface, people quietly stop trusting their actual word over time. Not because they're malicious in any real sense. Because their words simply stopped meaning anything reliable. Think of someone who says yes to nearly every single request that comes their way, out of a genuine desire to please people around them. Yes to the deadline, even though it's genuinely unrealistic given everything else on their plate. Yes to helping with the project, even though their schedule is already completely full. Yes to the favor, even though they clearly don't actually have the time to do it properly. In the moment, everyone feels good about this specific interaction. Grateful, even relieved by the immediate agreement. But then the deadline gets missed anyway, despite the enthusiastic yes given earlier. The help never fully materializes the way it was originally promised. The favor gets done poorly and late, if it gets done completely at all. Once is forgivable to almost anyone, genuinely. Twice raises a small, quiet question in people's minds about reliability. By the fifth time, something has fundamentally shifted in how people actually see this person. They're still liked, usually. But they're no longer trusted with anything that actually matters. Now think of someone completely different. Someone who says no far more often than most people are comfortable saying it themselves. I can't take that on right now, honestly. That timeline genuinely won't work for me given everything else. I won't be able to help with that particular project this time around. It sounds harsh in the moment, admittedly, sometimes even a little cold to people hearing it. But then, when they actually do say yes to something specific, it happens exactly as promised, every single time, without fail. There's real research behind exactly why this specific pattern matters so profoundly for building trust. Studies on trust formation consistently show that predictability actually matters more than warmth alone, when it comes to genuine long-term trust. People trust what they can reliably anticipate and predict in advance. A promise that's kept exactly 100% of the time, even a small, modest one, builds far more real trust than 10 enthusiastic promises that only get kept about half of the time overall. This is why the quiet, reliable person eventually earns something the charming overpromiser almost never actually gets to experience. Their word starts carrying real, tangible weight in every single room they enter. When they say something specific will happen, people actually believe it completely, without needing extra reassurance or repeated confirmation. That specific kind of trust cannot be bought with charm alone, and it cannot be faked convincingly for very long either. It has to be earned, slowly, through hundreds of kept promises nobody was even specifically tracking. So how do you actually build this specific kind of respect starting today, in your own life? First, promise less than you actually think you can genuinely deliver, deliberately and on purpose. Not because you're being pessimistic or overly cautious about your own abilities. Because underpromising and overdelivering builds trust far faster than the reverse pattern ever could. If you think something will genuinely take 3 days, say 5 instead, honestly. When it actually takes 3, you look remarkably reliable, consistently, instead of merely adequate at best. Second, say no clearly and directly when you genuinely can't actually follow through on something. A clear, honest no, delivered respectfully, builds far more real trust over time than a vague, hesitant yes that eventually falls apart completely. People respect boundaries far more than they respect empty enthusiasm that ultimately leads absolutely nowhere useful. It might sting slightly in the immediate moment. It won't cost you anything real in the long run, unlike a broken promise eventually will. Third, show up exactly on time, consistently, every single time, without exception whenever humanly possible to do so. This sounds almost embarrassingly small and insignificant to actually mention here, in a video about respect. It absolutely isn't small at all, in practice, once you actually pay close attention to it. Showing up on time repeatedly signals something specific and important about you as a person. Your word about time actually matches your real actions consistently, every single time. That signal quietly compounds across hundreds of small interactions, eventually becoming part of your genuine reputation with everyone around you. Fourth, admit mistakes directly and immediately, without excessive over-explaining or unnecessary defensive justification attached to it. I got that specific detail wrong, and here's exactly what I'm doing to fix it properly. That single sentence, said plainly and directly, builds far more genuine respect than any elaborate excuse ever could hope to achieve. People don't actually expect perfection from anyone around them, realistically. They expect honesty about mistakes when they inevitably happen to everyone eventually. Fifth, keep confidences completely, without exception, even when sharing them would genuinely make you look more interesting or important in the moment. Someone tells you something private and personal. That specific information stays exactly where it was given to you, permanently and completely. This one habit alone, kept consistently over years, quietly builds a very specific kind of reputation. People know, without ever needing to ask directly, that what they tell you actually stays safely with you. Sixth, stop over-explaining and over-apologizing constantly for completely ordinary, reasonable decisions you've genuinely made in your own life. A simple, calm no is a complete sentence entirely on its own merit, standing perfectly fine by itself. It doesn't actually need 3 paragraphs of careful justification attached to it every single time you say it. Over-explaining quietly signals uncertainty and insecurity about your own decisions, even when you don't mean it to. Confident brevity signals something else entirely, something people actually respect far more consistently over time, without you needing to say much at all. None of these specific habits are loud, flashy, or particularly impressive when you first look at them individually, one at a time. Nobody applauds you specifically for showing up exactly on time, or for keeping a promise nobody else was even tracking closely in the first place. That's precisely the entire point of this whole approach, actually, if you think about it honestly. Real respect isn't built in loud, visible, dramatic moments that everyone notices immediately and comments on. It's built quietly, in the countless small moments nobody's specifically watching or applauding at all, day after day. So if you genuinely want people to respect you, deeply and consistently. Stop performing for that specific outcome directly. Stop trying so hard to be liked by absolutely everyone around you constantly. Start keeping your actual word instead, consistently, especially in the small, boring moments nobody else is specifically watching or noticing. Promise less. Deliver more, every single time. Show up exactly when you said you would, without exception. Real respect was never actually about being the loudest or most charming person in any given room. It was always about being the most reliable one instead.